So take the challenge and do another experiment to further your process. Let's go ahead with the circle. It doesn't have to be this large. It can be smaller. And I'm also going to change brushes because my shape is kind of large. So I'm going to make this circle shape, uh, transform it into like a spherical form by creating a brighter area here and darkening as I go toward the rear, and then maybe leaving a little reflected light. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. And this is just a little bit of extra reinforcement to being more comfortable. First of all, more comfortable with ink and water. And I know it could be very daunting, but you guys can do this. So what I'm doing is I'm adding some water to the existing values that I have here, but I do need a very light value to start off with. So I'm going to start here just to be sure I don't have too much. So I'm going to go ahead and paint in the whole top half with the lightest value that I have. And I like to work wet on wet, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit more water to my brush and really spread all of this very light value down to the bottom. And then I'm going to start layering my values, or layering my wet ink to get darker and darker blends. This will be blended. It's really going to be kind of cool. So I'm going to grab some darker, or maybe even a little darker than that. I'm going to start down here. And then I'm just going to raise it up. I'm going to start gently raising it up toward my bright. Alright, not too much, too quick. Rinse off or wick off your brush because that's too much. Too much. And lay your brush down. And just let your brush do a lot of your work. We want to keep with the circumference of the shape. Rinse off and wick off your brush so that you don't have too much going on up here at the top. So I layered some dark over that bright, and I'm just allowing it to just blend in. But you don't want it to be too dark all the way up top. You need that to stay bright because that's where the light is. The light's right here at the top. So this is just a little bit of a blending, something fun. Maybe you can master this, and so you can see how shading is done in a blending type form. And you don't want to put that black all the way up to the top. You want to, and definitely make your brush go in the circumference of the shape. So now we have this nice casted shadow back, or this nice shaded area back here. And then we have the bright center light up there. Then we had the midtones right here. And then what I'm going to do is wick out some of this right here in the back. So you wick it out with your brush to get a little bit of a reflected light. Okay, that's reflected light back there. So my final thing would be to put in a casted shadow. And I know this is something we really haven't talked a lot about, but now I'm going to just show you that this can be done in pencil, this can be done in paint, this can be done in ink, this can be done in charcoal. This whole process is the same. Doesn't matter what medium you're using, you just have to understand how to gradually change your values as you move across the surface to create a flat form into a volume-like form. And so now we've just created a spherical form with that circle, and we've added a casted shadow underneath. Okay, because the light's here and it's shooting a shadow back here, so we have that casted shadow. So play around with this too, have some fun, do some small ones, lots of small ones, and you can use a smaller brush, of course, but I'm not sure if you guys have a larger brush. This is the largest one I think you might have, but if you don't have a big chunky one like mine, just make smaller balls or smaller circles and use these brushes here. So hopefully that enlightened you and got you excited about doing a little bit more with your pen and ink, your brush and ink process. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up because it's bothering me. I'm really, really anal about my shapes and my lines and my edges. So now, isn't that better? That's way better. I'm going to fix this over here too. And this is just a quick study with brush and ink wash. as well as a little quick study with light and shade. Light and shade. The light source is here, coming down, center light, halftone, crest shadow, reflected light that's bouncing off the table back onto the ball, and then you have your casted shadow. So hopefully, you know, you can play around with this and you'll have some fun with that as well. Add that to your list, and I can issue some extra credit if you do it.